We are now recording. So Lindsay, I'm going to let you take it away.
Okay, Trent, it won't let me share my screen, just
Well,
FYI.
that would be something that I would probably try to fix here. It's a good point. Maybe I should have stopped the recording here.
I've been doing this a
Um,
while, so I can wing it. It's not a
it's true.
problem.
I am just confused at why it will not actually. There we go. All panelists, we're doing it. You should be able to go now. Should have started the recording a little bit later, but Lindsay, all you.
Thank you, and I'm about to pull it up here. Okay, and Trent, you can see that and everything, I'm assuming.
You bet.
Okay. So hi, everyone. My name is Lindsay Arnold, Associate Director of Student Recruitment for graduate accounting programs here at Kelley, which includes our Master's in Accounting and then also our 3-2 MBA. Briefly, with both of these programs, it does allow you to complete both of your bachelor's and your master's degree within 5 years. And so your your master's in accounting, which is the MSA, you will complete your bachelor's and then do your 10-month master's program in accounting. While the 3-2 MBA, you would do 3 years of your undergrad, and then your 4th and 5th year would fulfill the MBA requirements and backfill what you would have taken as a senior for your bachelor's degree requirements. Again, all completing in 5 years. Another great benefit of our programs is you guys are all Kelley students. It is a very rigorous set of courses and different experiences, which we know employers or companies are looking for. With masters, same with Alex's program, MSIS and MSF. With your master's degree, it's just going to give you much broader opportunity for careers and set yourself up for that higher and faster career trajectory. And then another benefit too, again, same benefit with MSF and the MSIS program, is that you're not going to take a pause while having to complete your degree. I get questions from students all the time that says, well, I'll just finish my bachelor's and then I'll go and work a couple of years and then I'll go back to school. Just doing it straight through, you're done. You can just go ahead straight through. You don't even have to worry about taking that pause and losing that opportunity cost. So with the master's in accounting, like I said, it's 10 months, August to May, so just one additional year of school. It is a data analytics infused curriculum. And so meaning that we have even altered and changed the curriculum to include required courses in data and analytics, because we know employers are looking for students to be able to analyze that big data. And then students can choose to focus in assurance, risk management, or tax. With 3-2 MBA, you do 36 credit hours for your first year, which is set up like a core, and then 30 credit hours for your second year. That first year is going to be probably your most challenging year. And you're taking all your classes all at the same time, all together. Your second year is when you really get to select your classes basically a la carte. You're going to be selecting way more electives, and you get to focus and choose if you want to concentrate in accounting or financial analysis with that. Both of our programs do have experiential learning opportunities, which is great, especially now, given that I know a lot of students lost some of their internship opportunities due to COVID. Well, with our program, you're going to be able to have that opportunity while you're in school professionally. And so we have a field consulting project where you're going to be teamed up with one another, both our MSA and our 3-2 MBA students, and you're assigned a client. Typically, that client is based in the Bloomington area, and that client is an actual business and they have an actual problem. What I really like about this setup is that businesses don't just have accounting problems, right? They have info system problems, they have finance problems, it's a business. And so it really forces our students to expand their thinking and force them to think outside the box, outside of accounting and outside of finance. And what's really great about this too is that, again, you're getting that professional experience while still in school. So essentially you're giving a safe space to fail. And so our program really sets you up to ensure that before you go into the real world and make critical and crucial mistakes or errors, we want you to be able to do that in a safe space and a learning environment, but still getting that experience. And then the next thing for our MS and accounting students is they do have electives in the spring where they can go to Washington, D.C. and visit the Washington campus and learn about tax and public policy and accounting on a much more national level. Or students can elect to go to New York City and visit Deloitte's Assurance Learning Lab, where they will visit the New York Stock Exchange and things of that nature. And then with our 3-2 students, since you guys are here for an additional year in the grad program, you do have a field study abroad. So in your spring semester of your first year, it's not even a chance or opportunity. It's actually required part of your curriculum where you do go abroad and work for about 6 to 8 weeks. What's really nice is that I know a lot of you participate in study abroad, which is great, but ours is actually working abroad. So you are working for a domestic company within another country. So again, you're getting that professional experience, you're getting that cultural experience, that international experience, and you're getting a grade. And so it's just all infused into one, which is really great. Another big thing too, and I'm sure Fabian and Alex will also touch on this because we all use the same career services. I like to really kind of hype them up because they are ranked number 5 in the world. You all, of course, should be. I hope you are using undergraduate career services currently. Well, the graduate school has their own set of career coaches as well. And I really, really like them because not only are they coaching you to get that first job, but they're making sure that they're setting up your personal and professional brand. Will that first job get you to the second, third, and fifth job? You can use their services for life as a Kelley alum, which is really, really great. And then next, something that we have fairly new to our program is what we're coining as the winternship. Being accounting majors, you all know that the busy season happens in the spring semester. And so we wanted to create an opportunity for students to still go and participate in a spring internship during that busy season while still being able to complete their bachelor's degree and hopefully start their graduate degree with us. And so essentially, ideally, you would apply to our program, be admitted in the program, really all around your junior year so that you can recruit during your junior year for the upcoming senior year to do the spring internship. You can do a tax or an audit internship. If it's an audit internship, you would do your audit internship the first half of that spring semester and then take the other set of those classes to finish up your bachelor's and start the MSA program with 2 of our classes that second half of that semester. If it's a tax internship, of course, that will be flipped in reverse because we all know that tax season comes in the latter half of the spring semester. So there's no separate application for that or anything like that. If you do land a spring internship and want to participate in this, you just let us know and we'll work that out with you because we already worked it out with your undergraduate advisors and things like that. As far as applying, so you can find both of our applications on our website if you're interested in MSA or 3-2 MBA. For MSA, we do require a personal statement. 3-2 MBA, you are exempt from submitting a personal statement. However, for 3-2 MBA, a writing prompt is required as part of the interview process. So no, you don't write at the beginning of the process, you write towards the middle of the process. And then of course, we do require your resume for both programs. You all go to Kelley, so we already have access to your official transcripts, so no need to worry about that. Another huge thing being a Kelley student is that you are exempt from submitting any test scores. For international students, that also includes TOEFL, so you don't have to worry about that. Both programs do have an interview process that you will go through, and then for both programs, we do require professional and faculty references for each program. The deadlines would be for my MSA students. Again, you're all sophomores, but for MSA, you would need to apply by March the 1st of your senior year. And then again, if you're interested in the winter internship for MSA, we definitely encourage you to apply by the end of your junior year. For 3-2 MBA, you would need to apply by January 15th of your 3rd year. I do want to note, for students who are interested in 3-2 MBA, you are able to apply as early as your sophomore year. For MSA, you're able to apply as early as your junior year. I always recommend applying early for a number of different things. I always say I would rather set the pool than meet the pool is one thing. And then secondly, too, if you're applying, as a junior, we'll just say to the MSA program, that's one less thing you have to worry about your senior year. You already have a plan. You can just focus on graduating. If you do intend on applying early to the 3-2 MBA, your sophomore year, that's one less thing to worry about your junior year when you're typically going through I-Corps and kind of that gray area that we all know is approaching within the Kelley school. So brief timeline, again, 3-2 MBA, you go through your freshman year. Hopefully you would apply by your sophomore year, but you do have until the end of your junior year to apply. You will go through that first core of classes, your 4th year, again, 36 credit hours. Your spring semester, you would go and work abroad for a domestic company. Your 5th year is when you would do the field consulting project teamed up with our other MSA students. And then that 5th year is when you also take some of those elective courses that you can elect into. MSA, complete your entire bachelor's degree. Again, applying early your junior year if you like, but you have until your 4th year to apply your senior year. And then you just go through your core set of classes And that's also when you would do the field consulting project your fall semester of the program. I always get asked what are the differences between the two programs? And I mean, really, it's just a matter of what you want your career to focus in. So I always tell students, if you are interested in accounting, if you're interested in tax, audit, and assurance, MSA is for you. If you are really more of a finance driven type of student, 3-2 MBA more so is going to be for you. If you hate tax, you're going to hate the master's in accounting. If you hate finance, you're going to hate the 3-2 MBA. But just keeping in mind that your MBA is your master's in business administration. So it's going to give you a much more broad spectrum of career opportunities. Whereas MSA, especially those first jobs coming out of the program, is really going to focus on more of consulting, tax, or audit, those 3 areas. Whereas our 3-2 students can tend to go more into deal advisory, mergers and acquisitions, financial consulting, and things like that. And then lastly, paying for it. Every single admitted student is considered for some type of financial award, whether that be graduate assistantships or fellowships. Some of you may currently be in A201, A202, classes like that, and you typically are going to have a TA for that. Those GAs belong to us, the 3-2 MBA students. And so you can always ask them what it's like in the program and how they ended up landing their TA-ship and things like that. So again, there's no separate application. There's no separate interview process. Your application and your interview to either program is also considered when being selected for an assistantship or a fellowship. And this is just some contact information, snap a picture. But our chair, Leslie Hodder, is on there, and then our director, Gretchen, of course, me. And then we do have 2 GAs. Justice Riggs is my MSA graduate assistant, who is a current MSA student. And then Ashley Wagner, some of you actually may even know her. She's a current 3-2 student in her first year. So she's really, really busy right now, but she's always open and willing to chat with students. And then if you want to find more information, you can always scan either of these into your phone for more information. We do have some upcoming virtual information sessions that we hold throughout the year. So we have one coming up October 13th and another one November something. I forget the day, but it's going to be the November before you all would need to go home to finish out this semester. And excuse me, that is it for me.
Awesome. All right, so let me get this handoff right here. All right, so my name is Fabian House, and I'm the Associate Director here in the Finance Graduate Programs, and just excited to share with you all a little bit about what FGP is looking for in a candidate. Real quickly, here's a short sort of promotional video. 1 second. Dr. Michael Oakes, Senior Lecturer, is just going to maybe introduce a little bit about what FGP is about. And
the MSF program is Master of Science in Finance, and it's really aimed at people who want to take a deep dive into finance and step into careers that are genuinely a step above what undergraduates are typically going to get. It's a 1-year program. We're very confident in our ability to take students with a wide range of backgrounds, give them the basics that they need, and then take them in those deeper dives into finance, and now can bring that different perspective into the business environment and help businesses do things better.
We want them to be able to leverage this out-of-the-box thinking that they have with the necessary finance skills to succeed in these larger roles that we envision them for.
Well, that was just a little bit of a taste. If you'd like to see the full video, just go to our website. But Dr. Srini Kama is our program chair and would be conducting any final interviews that would take place as well. And I want to touch on the latter portion of what he said. Our classes are truly looking for a diverse candidate of students. And so when you ask what kind of students fit an MSF degree, there's not really one set sort of definition of what we're looking for. And our undergraduate populations realm from business-specific degree areas to non-business and liberal arts areas. And so this program itself is pretty new. And so looking at our trajectory and where we've gone from our start, our 2019 class of enrolling 16 students, almost double, a little over doubling that to 35, and then this most recent class of 42 students. And so our ideal class as we continue to grow is probably right between 50 and 60 students. And so we want to continue to, and then great in terms of our distribution, 29% women's, and our international population hovers between 20 and 25%. If you're interested in sort of the GPA or the quote unquote average GPA of a student, you know, a 3.5 is pretty accurate to where the median of our students reside. So that might give you some perspective on reflecting on your sort of academic curriculum, but it's not to say that, you know, a 3.3 or 3.2 wouldn't qualify as well. We're looking at your full application. So what are you involved in? What internships have you engaged in? What are your recommenders saying about you? These all factor into the final decisions that we make for enrollment. Moving on into some of the different degree paths that students take for MSF. I mentioned we have quite a few sort of College of Arts and Sciences here at IU undergrad that have taken part in the program. Of course, as you might expect, business continues is one that is prevalent, but maybe not as prevalent as you might think. Finance is pretty high, and but our public finance management and a few of our STEM courses do kind of round out most of our class. So one of the nice things about the program is you do have the choice or the ability to sort of design how you want your path to go. There are core classes, just like you would take at undergraduate level. There are core courses that you'll need to take in order to fulfill your MSF degree requirements. But there are elective courseworks that you can tailor towards corporate finance, investment banking, even real estate. So one of our recent applicant to the school told me that one of their big positives for him was the fact that we offered more or less specific elective coursework for real estate, because he knows he's very much interested in corporate real estate after he graduates. He has a lot of family that has gone down that path. And so that was a reason why he was interested in the MSF program. Oh, and I didn't mention it, but the QR code at the bottom right is my contact information. So you can actually snap a photo of that or just focus your lens. I don't want to sound like I'm outdated. Focus your lens on that QR code, and that actually will pull up my information. And after this meeting, if you want to connect with me, an opportunity to meet and talk, I'm happy to do that, but you can do that at any time throughout this presentation. Moving forward to maybe a little bit of our outcomes, where are our alumni going? What, you know, and as you might expect, quite a few of our alumni are staying right here in the Midwest. So you can see on the map, we've got, you know, Chicago, Indianapolis, St. Louis, even down in Atlanta, right? And then you've got a little bit of the coast cover as well, a couple of job positions in Oregon and California, and then even as far as New York City. So there's no real limitations in terms of where this degree path might take you in terms of a job position. And what types of jobs are students securing? I had a student recently ask me about job securement, and he was like, well, you know, you're mentioning a lot of corporate finance positions, but I'm actually very interested in private investment. And so so I had to say, well, yeah, we have students that go there too. And you know, one thing that Lindsay mentioned in her presentation is just the importance of incorporating, as they do in MSA, that internship experience. MSF does not actually have that incorporated within our 3-semester, or excuse me, our 2-semester / summer program. So what we do ask a lot of our students is, what kind of work are you doing coming into the program that will make you stand out to employers and help with graduate career services, help sort of guide you in what job positions might be complementary to your experience. Moving forward to a couple of our recent alums. So Tanya Ramos, she graduated just last year and secured a position. And you can read the quote there for yourself. But what I want to highlight is this idea of a Kelley graduate being extremely polished, well able to articulate their experiences and what they've learned. And she's doing something that she's ultimately extremely passionate about at Xylem. And another one of our grads, he was in 2019, He was a public finance management undergrad here at IU, and kind of found MSF later in his career by a recommendation, actually by one of our finance professors. And you talk about, I'm just building on what Lindsay said, when you think about, do I want to do my graduate degree now in terms of a master's, or do I want to wait? More and more we're finding that students feel the value is in taking it now, getting that 1 year completed while you're still in sort of the school mindset, but also employers more and more are expecting, I believe, higher qualified undergraduates who have experiences. And so that's kind of what Oscar points to in terms of his ability to secure a position at Intel. As far as the application, this is not necessarily a true application timeline. This is more or less, what am I doing now to help prepare myself for a graduate program? You all, I believe, are sophomores, and so continuing to build on your resume and your experience, schedule a meeting with me, right? Have a conversation about just being very honest and frank about what are your skills, how are you qualified, what can you do to better qualify yourself and prepare yourself for this program. That could be a really help to you. Then fill out a priority application. The application word there is really actually pretty loose. It's more of, how can you share some information with us that we can stay in touch with you as you go through your sophomore, junior, and then into your senior year. Your junior year, take part in an internship. Begin thinking about your personal statement. Why do you want to do a master's program? How do you hope that this degree will help you? And then how do you hope to maybe help Kelley in the sense of, you're a graduate and you're alumni now, how do you want to continue to give back? Those are the kind of things that we want you to think about in a personal statement. Last but not least, your senior year rolls around. You may want to meet with me again. We haven't talked since your sophomore year. Let's touch base again and talk about where you're at in the process. Finalize that resume and that personal statement, and then submit your application. We have 2 deadlines. We have a December and a March deadline, December being the priority deadline. But if you're confident that you wanted to pursue a master's program, there's no need to wait quite that long. I would encourage you to apply by the priority deadline of even the fall of your senior year. So with that said, I look forward to the opportunity of meeting some of you, hopefully many of you, and just talking about your interest potentially in our finance graduate programs, and then assisting you as you continue your journey as an undergraduate. Thank you. All right, let me go ahead and exit here.
Well, good evening. I'm going to give huge props to all of you. Last I saw, it was at 20 people in here. That's impressive to me, right? From someone who's been sitting in online meetings, Zoom, or we use Microsoft Teams a lot in our program since 9 o'clock this morning. I applaud you. You're like, yes, I'm a sophomore, but I'm geared up, ready to learn about graduate programs, right? So I applaud you exponentially, right? That's impressive to me. But I thank you for taking the time and being here tonight. While I do appreciate you being here, I do have a challenge, right? I think we can get some more questions going. So I have 3 pieces of swag. So for the first, third, and sixth person to put their name in the Q&A, all you got to do is write your name in the Q&A. I will connect with you and get you a piece of swag. All right. So first, third, and sixth. Oh, wow. Look at that. 2 people already. I love it. Boom. Okay. We got first and third and fourth. Ooh. Ooh. Can we get there? All right. Thank you. All righty. So for those individuals, I'm going to find a way to post my email in here. I can't answer live. It's already done. Why is it not? Oh, there we go. Type an answer. There we go. A.M. Bruce. Indiana.edu. Boom. All right. So for the first, third, and sixth person, which, if I'm looking at this, and Fabian and Lindsay can tell me where I'm wrong here, but I see Colin. I see Ben. So that's first, third, and 4, 5, 6 goes to Victoria. So if Colin, Ben, and Victoria shoot me an email, say, hey, I was first, third, or sixth, and I will get with you and we will get you a piece of swag, right? I appreciate the eagerness for swag, right? I always love swag. So Next thing I'm doing here is setting a timer, because as all of my colleagues know here, I can be chatty, as evident by my start, right? But I'm going to set it for 8 minutes so I know to get to the nuts and bolts at the end here. So, yeah, MSIS. Now, what the heck are we talking about, right? So, MS in Information Systems, kind of going off the question of what is IS, right? I answer this really simply. These are the people that can go from the boardroom to the back room and back and forth, right? They can communicate in both of those spaces. They can go to the back room where the people who are building the thing, whatever it may be, the cloud platform, the app, the database, the enterprise system, whatever it is, they're building it. They can be part of that conversation. They can leave that conversation and they can walk to the boardroom and tell the CEO, the CIO, here's what we got going, right? Here's how it's going to help our bottom line. Here's how it's going to help our logistics. Here's how it's going to help our customer experience. They have the knowledge. They can go back and forth. They can speak in both those rooms very fluently, right? As you can see here, every company is a digital company, right? Every company is a tech company. So that's the cool thing with IS. It's going to be applicable to no matter what area you study, right? You have a passion for supply chain, boom, technology is applicable, right? You have a passion for finance, boom, information system is there helping that role, right? If you're into management, you're going to need to know how to implement certain systems to improve the processes there. So a lot of the technology can go back and apply to your passion, right? You don't have to say, well, I don't want to be the CIO. I don't want to be in IT, right? That's not what our students are going on to do. They're going on to understand how can we solve this business problem, right? There's a business problem. How can we provide a technology solution to solve it, right? That is at the bare bones what MSIS students are preparing to go on and right? So I love that diagram. It just makes it so easy, right? MSIS fits right in there between business and technology. Super, super easy. So why do I need to stay in school another year, right? Fabian and Lindsay have hit that on the head a number of times here, right? And I like, the only thing I add is MSIS and doing this a 5th year is not preparing for your first job, right? You all are Kelley students. You're going to have ample, incredible opportunities waiting for you. Hopefully, we're back to a normal economy, but if it's the fall or the spring of your senior year, you're going to have great things waiting in a pick of companies, right? MSIS is setting you up for the second job, the third job, the trajectory of your career, right? That's the difference that it makes to get one of these specialized masters is setting you up for going further faster. So what is MSIS, right? What is that going to incorporate, right? So this is going to be a 1-year program for Kelley students, right? Especially starting as a sophomore, you have no problem getting in the couple of IS classes that we need you to complete, right? So when you get to MSIS, what's it going to look like? Your first semester, that fall semester, you're going to be immersed in MSIS core, right? You hear core, you think of I-core, which is for many of you, maybe coming in the spring, maybe coming next fall, right? As I warned the Kelley students, right, and not to scare you now, but MSIS core is kind of I-core on steroids, right? There is going to be 12 or 13 modules incorporated into the MSIS core, but it's designed to give you a very strong foundation in the world of information systems, right? You can see listed there many of the modules that we incorporate right now. Those will likely be there in the fall of 2024, right? But technology is ever evolving, right? Every year we reevaluate and we're making sure we're providing you the skills and the foundation that you truly need to step in and be successful in this realm, right? So MSIS core in the fall semester. In the spring, we slide into your concentration and your co-concentrations. We'll have a little bit more here. We'll go a little more in depth in that here in a couple of slides. But right now, 3 key concentrations of business intelligence analytics, enterprise security and risk management, and digital enterprise systems, right? And I tell students, you know, it's kind of like you all choosing your major. You don't have to worry about that concentration until about January of your 2nd year in the program, right? The fall core, the fall recruitment cycle, you're going to learn so much about yourself and your strengths within this field that it really comes to you, right? You start to delve into researching jobs you're interested. You see where your strengths are during the MSIS core, and it really helps lead you to the concentration or co-concentrations that are best for you. Going off what the other programs do, right? That real world experience. We have the capstone project, right? We'll incorporate, there'll be 20 in past years, 20 different firms that have come in and given a team of MSIS students and said, here you go, right? This is a problem that we need a solution for. They get it in January and they deliver by mid to late April, right? So students work very closely with a Deloitte, with an HP, with a Salesforce, with a Cummins. They work very closely with them throughout the semester, making some in-company visits, right? If they go to Indy, go to Chicago to make those visits. Obviously, many phone calls and Zoom conversations taking place, but really learning how to best meet the mark with their delivery. I think the coolest thing that MSIS offers is it is a really small, tight-knit community, right? You're a part of a vast and incredible network in the Kelley, right? We're over 120,000 Kelley alumni right now. So there's a great number of people out there that you can connect with. With MSIS, you get to find a really awesome niche within that, right? Something that helps you stand out within that Kelley network a little bit further, right? Some people that you have a little stronger bond with. And it's just incredible to see how they reach back to bring students along, right? In times like this, we see that a lot, right? When the economy goes on a little sideways, right? We've seen a number of examples where MSIS alums, they come back and they talk to our faculty chair, Professor Bipin Prabhakar, in the spring a lot, right? Or Bipin will reach out to Professor Bipin will reach out to them saying, hey, I have a couple outstanding students here. You really need to come back and take a look at these students, right? And for many times, those companies and those alums end up finding some positions that's applicable for students, right? So those are some of the small examples, but we have things integrated throughout the year as well, right? We just completed our MSIS Career Summit during orientation, where we had roundtables of over 20 different companies coming in, and then on Friday of orientation, we did mock interviews. So you're meeting with up to 3 different companies. You're sitting down and have a 30-minute conversation, right? 20 of it is a mock interview where you're just going and getting a feel for the questions that might come. But then the last 10 is follow-up, right? You're sitting with a real live recruiter from GM or EY or Grant Thornton, and they're saying, I really like that answer, right? Here's something you can do a little bit better. Here's an experience we want to hear about. I saw this in your resume, you didn't bring it up, right? So getting to make some really awesome connections there with recruiters and companies right off the bat. So that was my timer. I need to get moving, right? These companies you've seen. Compensation is wonderful, right? 84,000 is kind of that compensation. Every year when those numbers come out, it questions me, why am I in education again, right? Last year we had a number of students who landed a 27,000 signing bonus, right? I went into secondary education straight out of undergrad. That was just a few pennies away from my starting salary, right? So I'm often jealous of our fresh grads going into the marketplace. So I stop here real quick to let you know you will be on option 1, right? You will be on option 1 certainly as a sophomore. You will complete all the business prerequisites by completing your I-Core prerequisites and I-Core. Once you get past that, you will pursue either IS as a major, you complete the tech requirements, or the tech management co-major, right? So those would be your 2 paths. I don't have time to address the co-concentrations. So what I do have, if I can pull the Q&A back up, I'm going to respond to, Victoria's if I can, or somebody's. I just popped in our website, right, of how to apply. So you can jump in there and get some of the information on the concentrations, also information on our application is right there. And I point that out. if mine will slide, right? So the cool thing as a sophomore, right? Many of you right now, today, can go in and submit a priority application. It'll take you approximately 5 minutes, right? So if you would have started when I started, you'd be done. All you need is an updated resume and to provide us your quick demographic information, you know, name, email, contact information, that kind of stuff. And we actually encourage you to apply as early as you can, right? Because we strive within about 6 weeks, you will go from prior application to final decision. But the cool thing is that's going to cost you maybe a couple hours of interviews, right? Maybe a group interview, and certainly then a final interview, right? Once you get that admission decision, presuming it's positive, you don't have to make a decision or put any skin in the game until September 1 of your senior year, right? So we want you to know, hey, you know what? I have this incredible opportunity, right? And I can spend the next couple of years really researching risk-free of what I want to do professionally, right? I'm going to go pursue some internships that are in my area of major that I want to focus on, be it finance, be it accounting, be it marketing, right? Whatever it may be, I want to go explore those, do those internships, right? And then after, you know, hopefully something after your sophomore year, something after your junior year, you have a good understanding of, okay, professionally, what opportunities look for me? You know, I've had a chance to continue to interact with the MSIS team, the faculty chair, Professor Bipp and Prabhakar. We've had several events that you've been able to come connect. Is this going to be best for my long-term career, right? And then we'll be there, and we'll obviously have a number of conversations between now and then. But yeah, so it's actually a pretty risk-free opportunity for you to apply now and get that good information and just kind of have a plan, you know, going into your senior year, right? So pretty straightforward. 3.2, that's kind of the starting point, kind of the big obstacle we need. Not all 3.2s are created equal, right? Early on, you don't have a lot to sway it, right? But let's say you apply during your senior year, a 3.2 that has A's all their first years and then more B's and then some C's sprinkled in by a junior year is not the same as someone who went vice versa, right? C's and B's struggled a little bit their first year, you know, got into that second year, got into I-4, started kicking butt, and now has more A's and B's, right? Those 3.2s are not necessarily created equal. So, but keep that in mind. But 3.2 is kind of the starting point, what we like to look for, right? Again, the tech prerequisites, we will be here. We will advise you as you go along that process. The academic advisors are well aware of that as well. But yeah, so tech management co-major or the IS major obviously will complete this as well, right? More tech prerequisites and we're going to accomplish that. So those are my big points, right? I'll leave you with this. But I will be looking for those 3 emails, right? For people looking for their fresh swag from MSIS. I'll get that to you. I'll figure out a way to get that to you. So with that, Trent, I hand it back.